Okay guys, let's crack this box open and experience this watch together. I'm wearing the Seamaster today. I'm gonna do a full review of this watch in a while. I have some strong opinions about how this watch, what actually makes this watch not being a perfect watch, but I also really like the watch, so that's gonna be a fun video. But we're not here for that today. We're here to take a look at a watch that I actually have some quite strong opinions on, but I actually haven't experienced for myself, so this is going to be a fun one, experiencing this and actually getting hands-on with it and then having an opinion about it, because you know it's easy to have opinions about stuff that you have not tried out, but it's something different to actually have felt the watch in your hands, tried it out, and then form your own opinion. So black Seiko box, paper box, quite a small one actually. Let's open it up, and inside the black paper box we have a nice little smaller box. It's a nice looking, has this metallic sheen on it, looks almost like ice or frost or something. Nice presentation, Seiko 5 on the front, and then we open it up. Take a look inside. There we have the little tag. There we have some soft foam. The tag is right there. SSK 003K1. Caliber 4R34. We're going to talk a little bit more about the caliber later. And here we have it. For some, this is the most important release that Seiko have released in a while. The Seiko Sports Style GMT in the Batman configuration, black and blue. And as you might have noticed, let's just give it the Seiko shake, getting that second hand to start running. There we have it. The Seiko shake always works. Just a little shake and it starts working. And first impressions, when I'm holding it, the first thing that I'm actually thinking about here is that it's a lot heavier than I thought it would be. This is based on a SKX. You can see all the details, the dial, the shape, the bezel reminds you a lot about of the SKX 007 or 009, and but it feels a lot heavier. It actually feels like a higher quality watch, even though I know that the Seiko 5 series and this watch in particular has its drawbacks, but when you feel it in your hands, it feels heavier. It feels like you're holding a higher quality watch. I've owned the SKX 007 and the 009. This just feels better, and I think it's a little down to the bracelet, but we're gonna take a look at the bracelet in a second. If you look at it straight up, and if I'm looking at it out of the camera, the bezel looks all black. I cannot see, I don't know how it comes through in the camera, but when I'm looking out at it outside of the camera, the bezel insert looks all black. There is not a hint of blue anywhere to be found. This is really actually kind of cool. But when you just turn it around to the sun, give it a little of that nice warm sunshine, you can see the blue bezel popping up right at you. Blue on the lower side and black on the upper side. Beautifully done bezel. And this bezel is actually covered by a hardlex crystal, as is the glass. One of the downsides of the watch, in my opinion. I don't know why Seiko just keep on rocking the hardlex crystal instead of giving us sapphire. Most of us, this is just a guess, I haven't done any polls or anything, most of us want sapphire on their watches. I just don't know why Seiko continue to give us hardlex on these watches. I mean, it costs about $500. There should be room for a sapphire glass on this one, but nevertheless, hardlex bezel insert on that bezel insert, and then hardlex glass on the actual watch. Let's zoom in a little and take a look at that dial there. Yep, applied markers all around, which is a nice little positive. Seiko 5 logo just beneath the 12 o'clock, and then automatic, and then in beautiful, beautiful red, GMT. I don't know if you can see it, but you can see it there. I guarantee you can see it there. GMT. And then just beneath the 6 o'clock pip, I guess we have, I cannot see it because it's so small, 4R34, and then some lettering. Some lettering in there. Okay, let's take a look at the case itself. It's a familiar case. If you've ever worn a SKX or SKX 009 or 007 or the new Seiko 5's SKX predecessors, no, actually they're replacing the SKX. You know what you're expecting. You know what to expect with this case. Polished on the sides, brushed on the upper lugs. The exact same case, I guess it is. We have the crown at the 4 o'clock position with some substantial crown guards there. Let's pop the crown out and feel how easy it is to operate. It's not a screw down crown, actually. It's just a pop out crown. So yeah, I'm powering it up right now. I don't even have to screw it out. And I guess that's why you just have 100 meters of water resistance, because it's not a screw down crown. Let's pop it out. First position, I'm guessing the first position. No, it's moving the hour hand. And this is not a true GMT, because you see that it moves the minute hand. But it's not a true GMT because we have the GMT hands moves along with the hour and minute hand. In a true GMT, you have the hour hand moving independently, so you can just set the time zone right away. But here you have to set the whole thing. See if the hour, minute, and GMT hands align on this one. Setting the minute hand at 12 o'clock there. We have some misalignment on the hour hand there, if you can see that, and the GMT hand is actually almost perfectly aligned. So yeah, I'll give it a pass. Date window at 3 o'clock. Let's take a look at that one. I'm looking straight at it. Yeah, it's perfectly aligned, and that's actually a perfectly good date window there. Let's see if we have any more positions. Do we have 3 positions? Okay, we have one really, really small position. The first position is almost really easy to miss, but there we have it, and there you can set the GMT hand by itself. Still not a true GMT, because in a true GMT you're setting the hour hand by itself, but you can set the GMT hand there, and then in the second position you're setting the time. Let's take away those hands from all the markings. There we go. The second hand is ticking once again. It's an easy to operate crown. The crown guards do not actually hinder it really. I mean, the crown guards protect the crown, but the crown is still quite easy to use. Okay, bezel action. This is a bi-directional friction bezel. That it means that it doesn't have any clicks at all. It just moves smoothly and with no clicks at all. And I had an opinion about this even before touching the bezel, but now that I'm playing around with it, it feels really, really good. It's a smooth turning. It's almost like you can feel the oils and the stuff in there working with the bezel. It's smooth, buttery smooth, and it's one good thing, as you might know, Seikos, they have some misalignment issues, and with friction bezel you don't have that issue. You can set the bezel wherever you want, and you can actually perfectly center it, and it does not misalign. That's the good thing with a friction bezel. The bad thing, you don't have that tactile feel. You don't have that loud clicky sound. Actually, some watches are so loud that you can set the bezel without even looking at the watch, just by the sound of it. You don't have the sound confirming the clicks, and it might be, this is not my watch, as I said in the intro, but it might be that it is a little easy to make the crown go out of position by itself, by knocking it around, or maybe by if you take on a really tight sitting sweater or something, maybe that will make the the actual bezel move. It doesn't feel that light. It actually has some resistance, but I don't know. It's not my watch. I have not worn it, so I don't know if it has that issue. Bracelet. It's a nice bracelet here. It's actually a five link Jubilee style bracelet here. The outer links are brushed, central links are polished. It feels quite substantial, but as I might have guessed, we have some push pins here, or maybe they're pins and collars, but I actually think that they're regular push pins. Yeah, I don't like that. Clasp. It's a nice clasp. It's really a upgrade from the old SKX. The Seiko logo there on the locking system. Let's open it up. It's a folding clasp with a secure lock. Yeah, and here we have the pressed metal part that I said in my recent Seiko watch review. I don't think that a watch at this price range should have a pressed clasp, but it is what it is, I guess. And it at least it looks good. I have to admit, the clasp looks good. The brushing is nice on it. It looks perfectly fine. Too bad that it's a pressed clasp. 4 points of micro adjustment there. Opening up the clasp, take a look at the case back, and there we actually have an open case back showing you the movement, the 4R34 movement. There it is. I mean, it's it's not a beautiful movement to look at, but it's nevertheless a cool movement. It's an in-house GMT movement from Seiko. Beating away there, nicely done. Yeah, it's a nice looking watch. Let's try it on the wrist and see how it feels. I'm gonna take off my Seamaster, put it to the side, and here we go. 20 centimeter wrists. It is not sized for me, and I'm actually just going to have this watch for one day, so I'm not going to size it for me, because I'm really not comfortable sizing up other people's watches when they are push pins or pins and collars. If it was a screwed bracelet, if it was a bracelet with screwed links, I would actually try to size it up. But this one, no, I'm not gonna do it. I won't risk it. It's not my watch. But you can see you can see what it looks like. 20 centimeter wrist. This is what the SKX Sport Style GMT looks like on my wrist. I must say, it's a beautiful watch. There's no denying that. I'm really impressed with the bezel insert, how it is black. It's really pitch black in some angles, and then you just turn it around in another angle and that blue just strikes at you, looking beautiful. That impressed me, and as you know, I'm a sucker for red details, and the red GMT hand combined with that GMT text there, yeah, it's more beautiful in person than it was just looking at the renders or videos online. And I'm guessing you're looking at this video right now, so if you want to get a real appreciation for what the watch looks like and feels like, you actually have to try it on. Okay, let's talk specifications. So, the SKX Sport Style GMT. The movement inside of it is the 4R34. It's a movement that ticks away with 21,600 vibrations per hour, and that's actually 6 beats per second. It has 24 joules. The power reserve is 41 hours, and the accuracy is plus 45 to minus 35 seconds a day. And in my humble opinion, that's horrible. If it isn't regulated when you get it, I mean, if I had a watch with a beat, I mean, if that watch had a accuracy of it might have plus 45 seconds a day, that would mean in 10 days you'd have to set the watch. Every 10 days, maybe less, you'd have to set the watch again, and that's horrible. I mean, that's not good accuracy. However you might see it, That's not good accuracy. That's really one of the big gripes that I have about this watch, is the movement. It's cool that it is an in-house GMT movement, but the accuracy just isn't there. But I'm guessing they're shipping these out, and they're actually calibrating them, but the tolerance is plus 45 to minus 35, and I just have to mention that the tolerance, in my opinion, is not great. Anyway, we have a 5-link Jubilee style bracelet that is, as I said before, folding clasp with a secure lock, and then we have the bezel is a bidirectional friction bezel, and the insert is actually also hardlex, just as the crystal on the watch itself. Diameter 42.5 millimeters, thickness 14 millimeters, lug width 22 millimeters, lug to lug 46 millimeters, and it's actually 46 millimeters. You don't have any overhang from the bracelet, no male links here. It's true 46 millimeters on that lug to lug. The water resistance is 100 meters, and the retail price is $475 US. So, the conclusion, first impressions, conclusion of the watch. I have to admit, in person, in my hands, I'm impressed. It feels better than the SKX, and I actually have to admit I have not had the SKX 5 version in my hand. This is actually the first Seiko 5 that I actually have in my hand, so I cannot say if it feels better or worse than the regular SKX follow-up. We have something here with the bracelet that actually is, it just gets stuck there for some reason, or maybe that's a one-time occasion. It feels like it has something that actually rubs against itself. Yeah, there we have it. We have a distance between the lugs on the first lug and the second lug there. I mean the first bracelet link and the second link. It's a little tight, so when they pass each other, they actually rub up on one another. I don't know if you can see it there. I'm trying to zoom in there. You can see that here we have the first link, this is the second link, and when you're folding it down, they actually rub against each other. They're really close to each other, so sometimes it feels, mostly on this side, they get stuck. Yeah, okay. It would have been a good thing to give them a little more distance, especially on that first link, because yeah, you can see it's in some positions. There it is. It's stuck, and yeah, there we have it once again. I don't know if it comes through in camera because I'm trying to look at the watch while doing this, but yeah, there we have it again. It's stuck. It clicks, and there it is, and there it's stuck. You have to click it up. Yeah, I hope you saw that. That might be something to think about. But overall, the quality feels better than the SKX and the SKX 007 and the 009. The watch feels more robust, feels heavier. The bracelet feels better, even though it's we have push pins there. And the clasp, though it is a pressed clasp, it looks really good. So I'm gonna give it a pass on those points. I'm not impressed with the movement itself. Sure, it is an in-house movement, and you have to give Seiko props for that. But it is an in-house movement with poor accuracy. So I'm not really impressed. I would rather have an outsourced movement, an ETA or whatever, that is more precise than just having an in-house movement for the in-house movement's sake, but it is losing 40 seconds a day. To me, that is not, I'm not preferring the in-house movement. I would actually prefer the better accuracy with a movement that is not in-house, if you understand what I'm saying. But nevertheless, people have praised this movement, and for Seiko to put out a GMT at this price range, and they're guessing that the movement will be used in a lot of watches, not just Seiko watches. They're going to sell out the movement to a lot of brands. Micro brands are going to use it. So it's cool that you can get a GMT at this price point. But there are other watches you can take a look at if you want a GMT at this price point and still get a more accurate watch. Just from the top of my mind, I've had a lot of Steinhardts on the channel. Sure, they are a homage brand, but they have a lot of watches with their own designs as well. And they actually offer you a GMT movement with a ETA GMT movement that has higher accuracy than this one, and just cost like $50 more or something like that. And it's a Swiss-made watch. Take it or leave it. Think about it what you want. That's just my 2 cents about the thing. Okay, pitchback room. It's actually a closet. And the Lume on the Seiko. I mean, what can I say? Do we have to say more? It's Lume Bright. Seiko, I mean, Lume Bright is just wonderful, powerful, long-lasting. Looks beautiful. I mean, this almost lights up the entire room. No, it actually doesn't, but it looks really perfectly beautiful, evenly applied all over, and it's just a beauty. It's just a spectacular sight when you load up the Lume on a Seiko and you take a look at it. It lasts long. It shines bright. This is from as far as my arm can stretch. You can see the time perfectly well. Well done, Seiko. Lume Bright is one of the best Lume applications out there. Really nice. Back to the video. And yeah, I'm impressed. Would I buy it for myself? No. I mean, it looks really good. It feels good, better than I thought it would. But I'm just done with the... for myself, I'm done with the SKX. I sold my SKX for a reason. I loved it for a while, but I thought that it just was a little too thick, and I don't know, the bezel is really big, and I wouldn't buy it for myself. But if you like the looks, and if you can live with the cutbacks that Seiko have made on this model, not having a sapphire glass, having a pressed clasp, having pins, push pins in the bracelet, having Hardlex mineral instead of sapphire, and that accuracy that is not really up there, and then the slight misalignment with the hour and minute hand. If you can live with those small errors, then I think you're gonna be really pleased with the SKX Sports Style GMT, because it truly is a beautiful watch. When you put it on wrist, it feels good, it feels heavy, it feels it actually feels better than it is. I'm gonna put it like that. I think that it feels better on the wrist than the specifications tell you that it actually is. So it feels better than it is. That's my conclusion of the SKX Sports Style GMT. Beautiful on wrist. Thickness is not a problem when you put it on wrist. So yeah, go for it. If you like the look, there are 3 color variations, I think. I think the Batman is the one to go with, because that blue and black combined with the red, so beautiful. Anyway, that's all from me, folks. As I always say, if you liked the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. Tell me what you did not like, and I'll try to do better in the next video. And if you like the video really much and would like to see more, please consider subscribing. That would mean a lot to me. Until I see you again, and I hope that I do, have a great day. Bye bye.